Welcome to Pagan Crafting. I'm your host, Kara. Today, we're going to make a leaf lantern out of paper mache. So get outside, go collect some leaves, go find some goodies that you could put in your lantern. Going with our theme of this month of love and light and candles, let us have some fun with Pagan Crafting today, and let's get messy. The supplies that we're going to need today are balloons, some soft tissue paper. Now you could use white if you want to see through, but if you use color you can have some fun with that too. You grab some scissors, twine or ribbon, some clothespins, a paintbrush, old school white glue, and a candle. As we get our balloon ready, you can blow that up to the desired size if you wish your lantern to be. And we're going to grab our white glue. What I've done here is I've put water in the glue and given it a good stir and thinned it out. You do want about this consistency. You don't want it chunky or lumpy or thick. You want to have a very thin, more of a thin paste. We're not going to use flour and water today with the paper mache. Glue is amazing. So what I've done here, I've cut my paper into strips, which I found out later it was easier to cut them even into smaller squares, not longer strips like we did back in the day with the newspaper and the long strips paper mache. This one I found the bigger the squares the better. So we're gonna soak the balloon first, a generous supply of glue. And you can just start a starting point. Now when I wound up doing my second balloon, I covered the entire thing with glue first, then put on the paper, and boy did it ever go faster. So just a little tip there as I'm learning as I'm going here. I've done paper mache planets. I think the first time I did paper mache was kindergarten. I got to do Saturn because I was an artist, so I got to paint the Saturn color. I was so excited. But paper mache can be quite messy. Back in the day it was newspaper with flour and water. And I think the method with the glue and this type of tissue paper is the way to go. Now after you've done a few layers of the tissue paper, it's time to put on our leaves. So if you can't go outside like I can right now, it's Canada, it's cold, we still have snow on the ground. Yes, the wheel of the year says it's spring, but it is not here yet. We have a couple months. So I'm using some of my plants indoors. Be sustainable, do what you can, use what you can. You could even use feathers if you want. If you have, you can draw little shapes and symbols and signs and stuff on felt material and then glue the felt on the lantern so you can have a cool silhouette as well. Oh my God, I just thought of that. Now I want to make fairy lanterns with fairy silhouettes. Oh my gosh. So I'm doing what I can, I'm grabbing the leaves that I can. I just started those little ivy plants. I only grabbed 3 ivy leaves. These ones I can grab quite a few little ones here. And they are nice little shapes to work with. I had a bit of a hole here. My lantern keeps sticking to the paper that I put down, so easy, easy, easy patchwork. And what I do is I put down a healthy amount of glue again, or glue underneath the leaf, and it helps stick them on. I'm making kind of a pattern. I'm having a heck of a time. It keeps sticking to the paper, but I was trying to protect my table, so trying to hold the balloon up, but it's not working very well. But that's okay. And apply a little bit of glue over top as well. It helps hold it down. My 3 ivy leaves. I love ivy, it's gotta be my favorite. I bought one plant and split it into 5 different ways. I was excited, so we'll see how they grow. Now these are fun. This is actually a 50-year-old plant. It has been growing as long as I've been alive, almost. I'm not telling you my age. But if you clip off one of these little leaves, it looks like butterflies. So I'm gonna put butterflies all over my lantern. I'm so excited. And they're purple. Look at that. They're so cute. I got butterflies everywhere now. Woohoo! So, if you can make a pattern if you want with leaves. Again, like I was saying, you could use feathers, anything you can think of, you can throw between the layers. It'll create a beautiful silhouette for you. Now I'm adding glue over top of all the leaves now to do another layer of tissue paper. And you can see now I've cut the pieces smaller, and boy, that's easier. As you can see here, I'm just gluing down the edges. After you put on the paper, that's all you need. You don't need to put on a whole layer of glue on the outside again if you don't want it. There's so much glue underneath, it's gonna be pretty good. But now you gotta cover all the leaves once again. And just adding glue as you're going. Yeah, definitely the piece is smaller, not as long, because I, again, used to the old school way of the newspaper was like the long strips, you know? Now what I'm using is a clothespin here just to hang it up, and it worked out really great. You can hang it on a string or you can hang it up anywhere you want. Now I'm using little wooden pieces here. I'm not sure if it's going to work out yet, but we're going to give it a go. If it creates a nice silhouette, this will work out super cool too. These little wooden pieces were super inexpensive at a local little craft or dollar store. And just having fun with flowers and butterflies everywhere. Using a lot of glue so it'll stick on, because I didn't want them to fall off before I put on the tissue paper. Now I tried something different. I just put on all the pieces now because I got enough glue, because I did a whole glue layer down. So I'm just going to throw down paper and see what happens. And you know what? It worked out a little bit easier. Now I just hit all the edges and I give the whole balloon a good wash. And actually this technique worked a little bit faster than doing piece by piece. So again, just feels what works best for you. I'm learning as I'm going. These are my first balloons I have made in a long, long time. The last time I made some planets was with my daughter when she was 2, I think, or 1. I got it in my head I needed to make planets. So now just give them a hang. They're gonna need 24 hours. Oh. I could watch that over and over. Ah! Yay! All right, next step is we're gonna draw a circle around the top. It is easier to use a bowl, because if anything is off-centered, this will clean it right up for you. And any type of scissors will do. You don't need anything industrial. This is extremely easy to cut. And it'll cut right through those wooden pieces I discovered, and it cuts easily through the leaves. Yeah, I was surprised some of the wood pieces had overlapped where I wanted to cut the opening, and it snipped right off super clean. And there we have it. The beginning of a lantern. Now you could turn this upside down too and make a globe if you want. But I'm also seeing here it is having problems sitting. They're gonna keep going, they're balloons, they're round shapes. So we're gonna create a platform for them to give them a bit of a weight. So if you have any candles, this is the time to let them light. We're gonna use the wax as a weight in our lanterns. If you don't turn them upside down and use them as a globe, that is. Now just using a couple little bowls to balance them and get them nice and straight. And I'm just going to use the candle wax as a little counterweight. Again, trying to use everything that is sustainable. You don't need to go out and buy resin or things like that to create a base here. Just use what you have in the house. Wax will do. So we can let that cool down now, and there we have it. Now you can remove the bowls. And they are going to balance quite nicely for you. And if you wish to float them in water, then they're also going to have a better balance as well too. Now this would be a nice base to set your candle on. If you do use this as a globe, obviously we can't use a candle inside because it would be turned upside down. But you could use a little string of lights or something like that to put inside the globe as well. Oh, I'm so excited how this looks. Okay, now we're going to use some twine, or you could use some ribbon. And we're going to make just nice little handles so you can hang them outside or go for walks with them. I think I would definitely go for a walk with mine. Just go for a walk down by the water. Ooh. Maybe when it warms up and the ice is off the lakes, I can bring these out to the water and we'll take some cool photos. We'll do some updates on these. Oh, set them out, set them afloat. So you want to punch holes in there, one on each side. You could just poke it in with your scissors. You can make a little hole with scissors. This paper is pretty sturdy with the glue and created quite a nice seal. Now you could use Mod Podge over top of the layer on the outside to create another seal, or you can spray it with a clear coat seal as well. Especially if you're gonna have them outside. It'd be nice to give them a little extra layer of love to protect them. And there we be. So I'm just tying a few anchor knots. I always do everything in threes. I don't know why, but that's just the way it is. And there we be. We have a perfect little lantern. Little place for a candle. It's not going to fall over now. Loving it. And making sure you don't cut your opening too small so you can light with a candle. And you will have your glowing lamp. There we be. Well, thank you for hanging out with me today, and let me know if you're going to do this craft yourself. Ring the bell if you'd like to see more videos, and throw me down a like. It super helps my channel, and have yourself a magical day.